Hi everybody, 16th of November and another day in my daily diary of how I'm now coping with the loss of my wife due to Parkinson's. I'm doing the video again in the front room like last night. I forgot to mention last night because I've got the washer on. And I have done in the past. I've done it in the other room and people have commented on how they can hear the washer. So that's why I'm in here, in the front room. Got up this morning about 9 o'clock. Didn't quite feel quite as chirpy as I was yesterday, but didn't have that big dark cloud hanging over me. Just felt a bit down a little bit, but looking forward to grandson coming over with his two. Anyway, he texted me, he said there was setting off about 1ish, something like that, but they called over to Angie's garden first and put some flowers down, which I thought were nice. And then when they got here, Lottie, she's only 6, loads of questions about her nan, and stuff like that. And now they're going to go and put some more flowers down again and so on and so on. You can tell they can't quite get their head around it. I know, I mean Leo's a typical 8-year-old lad. He's not saying much, but you can see him listening. You can see him listening and that, so one thing that didn't make me laugh though, Lottie was talking about my TikTok. Why do you do TikTok, Grandad? So how do you explain that? So I just do. Did you do it every day? So I said, yeah. Why do you wear glasses? Because I don't wear glasses all the time, they're just for reading. And I said, well, I need to see the camera when I'm doing it. It just made me laugh. There's simple questions like that after going from, about my nan, and is she in heaven and stuff like that, to then say like, why do you wear your glasses? So that cheered me up, it made me chuckle. That's the innocence of kids, isn't it? Yeah, but before they got here, I did some ironing, which I like doing actually. As daft as it sounds, it's a bit therapeutic, and I've always done it, and I've always played my music while I do the ironing for years. Not just since, well, you know what I'm saying, but I've always done it. So I did it this morning. Put my music on again, proper, no sad songs allowed. But singing along to like KC and the Sunshine Band and all that sort of stuff, and because Angie loved all that as well, and she used to love dancing to it. Back in the day when back in the club, like when I was working on the doors and stuff, she'd be up dancing to all that sort of stuff, Kool and the Gang and Earth, Wind and Fire. All the proper 70s and 80s proper disco soul type thing. Well, she was a good dancer, and that's why there was a lot of what can we say? A lot of lads used to get chucked out because they'd get up dancing with her, and then I'd notice it, and then she'd see them then being chucked out, and not allowed. But while this, because this is just on me, my Spotify, just playing random songs, and then Dusty Springfield come on. I do like Dusty Springfield. I thought she got a great soulful voice, and it was called All I See Is You. I've heard it loads of times, but I've never really listened to the words. Oof, I had a right meltdown when that was on. Proper meltdown. Really at home. The words to it really, really at home. It's mad, isn't it? Certain songs. It's not even really a sad song. It really is mad. So yeah, I got this, feeling again come over with that. So, because I listened to it all the way through. I should have just turned it off once I started listening to the words. I should have done, but sometimes you can't. It just drags you in, doesn't it? And you've got to listen to it. And I've never really listened to all the words properly, and mad. Really hit home that. Anyway, then the kids come over and we had a quick brew and went for something to eat with them. Of course, McDonald's. Do you want to go in the cafe or McDonald's? Oh, McDonald's. So we went in McDonald's and then can we go to the arcades? Yeah. So we went in the arcades and I give them a tenner each. The dad would give them a tenner each or whatever, and all of a sudden, John, little. I'm walking around with Lottie, the little one. Anyway, we won all these tickets and all these little plastic toys. So we did pretty well. I think we spent about 50 quid to come home with like £1.80's worth of little cheap plastic toys. Yeah. But it's memories, isn't it? It's just making the memories. That's what it is. It is, so I enjoy it, I do, to be honest, and it's carrying on. Then they put the tickets in the machine and it counts it out how many they've got, 800 and something, and then they go to the counter and spend all the, the tokens, and it's just part and parcel of making memories. It is. And then we came home here and we had a brew and give them some ice cream, and then they shot off home. Might be home by now. Because I'm not hungry yet, I've got to have my tea. But then, once they'd gone, it's that deathly quiet again. It just kicks in. That loneliness, or, well, how could I describe it? Nothingness. But the extremely loud nothingness. I know it kicks in. It does. So yeah, I was in bed pretty early last night. Well, it's early for me. I think it was about 11:30, something like that. So I'm going to get to bed early tonight. I've got my car in, but it's MOT in the morning. But I've got to drop it off at 9 o'clock. So I'll be up. I'll get up like my old-fashioned 7 o'clock, because I can't get into the habit of getting up at that time in the moment, and that's been me all my life. So I need to get back into it. I know I don't have to do. There's no real reason to, but I want to. I used to enjoy that time in the morning. So tomorrow morning I've got a purpose to actually have to get up in the morning. So I won't be doing the gym neither tomorrow, but I'll have a nice long walk. It's about 10-minute drive from here, to the garage, so it's gonna, half an hour-ish to walk back, 40 minutes maybe. And even more so if I go the long way and come back along the promenade. I might even stop and get some breakfast while I'm out. Because the fellas fit me in. I didn't realise the MOT run out on Tuesday. So he just said, we'll drop it off Monday morning, 9 o'clock, and I'll just squeeze it in. He said, so I'm not going to give you the time. He said, but I'll just squeeze it in at some point during the day. So I thought that was good of him. That was good of him. So I'm not going to the gym tomorrow, but I will on Tuesday. Get back into the swing of it again. So yeah, but that washing's still on now, and I'm going to go and get my shower, and because we've had something to eat sort of late afternoon, so I'll probably end up with a sandwich or something in a bit. Something to eat. Glad you're liking the stories about Angie as well. The one I can think of for tonight, well, I need to start writing them down, because things come in my mind and then I forget. I need to start writing them down so I can, like a stockpile of stories. You know, but I remember when we was, because talking about music today, there was one of the songs that came on was back from the 80s, pump up the volume, or pump up the jam, pump up the volume. Again, for those of you sort of around the 30 mark, same as me, you'll remember it. Pump up the volume. And we was on the bus in Malta, and they're right old sort of charabangs they are. The bus in Malta, all done up, and the bus driver's got this playing, and he didn't half playing it loud at all. So I said, this is a bit loud, isn't it? Because like the bus was mixed of, you know, not many sort of younger types, more older types. I said, this is a bit loud, isn't it, Angie? She said, oh, shut up, sing along because we liked it. Anyway, got stuck in a right load of traffic, and he just had it on repeat, this bus driver. Anyway, the next thing, she's got up, she went over to him, said something to him, and turned around, and he paused the music and just said, right, everybody, do you want this music to stay on? Or is he going to turn it off? I've told him we're going to have a vote on it. So anyway, people said, no, leave it on, leave it on. So that's what he turned around, leaves it on, he gives a thumbs up, and Angie starts dancing in aisle on the bus. But she just got up and said, that shouldn't tell me a thing. And then turned around and asked the bus to vote on whether they wanted this music staying on or not. Mad woman. Absolutely mad. This is in Malta, and there was a lot of Maltese on the bus, not just all holiday makers. I know, so, yeah. yeah. I used to say she could cause trouble in an empty house. She really could. You know, but we all with good intentions. Right, so I'm going to get off now. That's cheered me up a bit, that, actually. So I'll try and keep a positive head on for the rest of tonight. I think I'll definitely have a chat with Mr. Daniels tonight and get in bed early. So again, thanks for all your comments and your support. Press your like button, follow me, forward these videos on again please, and I'll do another one tomorrow. So as per usual, you take care now, bye.